inside of the motor mount bracket because, as I said before, both of these are stripped, so I'm gonna have support here. So I just welded the bottom just so I can have support on the bottom as well. So I'm gonna take this off and see how sturdy that is now. So apparently that wasn't gonna work because I completely forgot that my block is aluminum, and this is not. It's not gonna weld to it. So I actually managed to force this bolt in and thread it in, and it's actually pretty tight. So I'm not gonna fuck with it because the other one on the side, I'll give it some more strength so that this doesn't pull out. But from the looks of it, it's gonna hold. So we're good there. What I'm gonna do now is mess around with this intake. I know I've been saying I was gonna do the transmission, but that's gonna be left for last since that'll be the last thing that gets put on. I'm gonna just start working on this here. It looks like I'm gonna have to do the same thing here like I did to the intake and exhaust over there. I'm gonna have to grab my Dremel and go ahead and clean inside of these ports here because they're caked. I don't know if you can see that, but there you go. It's caked with oil. Caked with oil. Yeah, look at that. Caked with oil, so I'm gonna have to clean the hell out of the intake as well. I took this throttle body out, and again, let me see if I can get this light on. Here we go. Again, more freaking crud. Look at this. Look at that. It's amazing. It's amazing how this thing was still running. And this is exactly why I'm building this motor, because it doesn't matter what you do to these things. They run forever. No matter what it goes through, it'll run. So I can make sure I get deep inside of there. I'm gonna get that long brush I got. I'm gonna foam the hell out of the inside of this, scrub as far in as I can get. Same thing with the inside of these. Scrubbing through the throttle body housing right here. Scrub all the way through there, all inside there. Get all these ports and then just wash it out. Hopefully I can get everything. That should be good enough to get ready to paint afterwards. I'm thinking of just leaving all these things on and painting over it, because if those that hose kit I don't have, or if that hose kit I bought doesn't have any of these, even if I get them oversprayed, I'll eventually just replace them so that way I can have them nice and new. But save me some time. I'm gonna go ahead and just leave that stuff on and spray around it. But first, clean the hell out of the inside of this as well. Taking off the fuel rail and the throttle body to give me some room to spray some of this oven cleaner I had left over. And then I'm gonna use this scrub brush for now. But once I'm done with this little bit of oven cleaner that I got, I'm gonna go to the store, buy some more, and buy a better brush. That way I can get deeper in there. I'm gonna get one of those round toilet brushes so I can scrub right through all that. I'm gonna see if I can find something small enough that I can put through here and that'll reach all the way back there. So this is what I'm gonna do now. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this real quick and head over to the store. So with the little bit I had, I actually cleaned it pretty damn good. See if I can get some light in there. Let's see if you can see this. Can you see that? Cleaned it pretty good. Still a little hard to reach places are like right there. But beside that, it came out pretty good. Kind of still want to get that brush from the store so that way I can go through these ends, because I was able to get somewhat in here, as you can see, but when it comes to getting down there, I couldn't reach. So I'm still gonna get that brush. Yeah, still gonna get that brush so I can get in there all nice and deep. Because it's still got those little random spots. So I'm gonna get that scrub brush so I can get in there, but for the most part it came out pretty good. Not too bad. Alright, so I'm getting impatient and I'm just gonna dry the hell out of this. Take off some of those parts that are right here. I'm gonna take this off, and take this off, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start painting this. It's definitely clean enough. I kind of want it spotless, but like I said, I'm being impatient right now and it'll still work perfectly fine the way it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and dry this off and start spraying it. As you see, I tried cleaning it up as best as I could. I still gotta cut the outline of this out, but I'm gonna leave this like this. I'm just gonna spray in here. And then I think I got everything covered pretty well. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna finish cutting that out and then I'm gonna spray it. She's primered up nice. Yes. Next step is gonna be the paint. Well, the color. Okay, so I went ahead and painted it off camera. And as you can tell, it came out pretty good. I also primered the throttle body. I'm gonna go ahead and spray that. That I'm gonna end up doing black. Ran out of the paint again, but I think I prefer that black anyways. And I'm also gonna have to clean up this part right here. I'll spray that black. I already got the gasket sitting there ready to go. And then the motor will be that much more complete. I didn't mention this. I made a hole here through the plastic so that you can see the cam gear. Because in the future I'm gonna get a new cam gear that matches the blue there, so you can see it through there. But I'm also gonna go ahead and put some plexiglass to cover the hole right here, so that way dirt doesn't get in there, and it's still the plastic continues to do the job that it's meant to do. So yeah, there's that. After we get this intake put on and all the little bits and pieces attached to it, then I'm gonna be able to go ahead and start on that transmission finally.
Sorry, it's DJ.
Get some.
Now let her dry, and all is left for that is the clear coat. This, I started clearing it, I ran out of clear, so I'm gonna need to get some more paint. I've been going through paint on this project like crazy, but it's worth it. So I need to get couple more cans of clear so I can take care of that. I also got to get a couple more cans of black so I can be able to finish the rest. But it's coming out good. I had to use a different kind of black than I did on the headers and everything else because I ran out of the black that I was using. But this is also the flame proof black. It's just gonna come out, I believe, a little shinier than the other black is, but once I get the clear, it'll dull it up a little bit. Clear is done. I like this clear because I literally just finished spraying it and you could touch it and it's dry. That's fucking awesome. But I'm still gonna let it sit for a little bit and cure before I put the weight of my grip on that, because I'm pretty sure if I grip it hard enough, it's gonna leave fingerprints on it. But yeah, it's that paint is awesome. I like it. This is ready to go. I'm gonna clean that up, but I'm gonna throw this on the engine when it's dry enough, so that way I can have that on. I tighten the screws on there, then I'll start cleaning up the other parts and put them and start adding them to this as it's on the engine, so that way I don't have to worry about this anymore. From the looks of it, it dulled it up a little bit, but not like the other black parts. So I don't mind it. I'll leave it the way it is. It's just a temporary part. I'm gonna eventually upgrade all the parts little by little after I get the engine in the engine bay and running for a while. me putting this on because I realized before I go ahead and put the intake manifold on, I'm gonna put a couple of these little bits that go down here underneath the manifold to make it easier to install. But those couple of those little bits, such as, where'd I put it, needs to get cleaned up before I put it on there. Inside looks pretty clean, so that's not a problem. I'll just wipe it up a little bit, but the outside looks destroyed. So I'm gonna have to clean this up before I throw it up on there. So also, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through the box of hoses that I have, and I'm gonna start replacing them as I go, so that way I know where they go when I look at them. So I'm gonna go find the one for this one, and then I'm going to clean this up and then install it onto this. And the same thing goes with the ones that are over there. I'm gonna look for those hoses and install those hoses onto the intake manifold, because that's apparently where those hoses go. So that way I can keep track of all the hoses. We're left here at this point. Let me turn this fan off. So I just mocked this up here for now, so you can see how somewhat the end result is gonna end up looking like this. I'm gonna bring it aside and I'm gonna scrub it clean so I can use this. Obviously you can tell, well, this actually came with the motor when I got it, and it so happened to be blue. This I had with a whole bunch of extra random parts, which again happened to be blue, but I took this off of one of my buddy's cars. So this I made this because I didn't want to put this ugly looking tube right here, because I believe it goes like this and that, and then has a black tube connecting from here to there, I believe, and then from here to here, and you know it goes down here into that. But I gotta look and make sure I'm connecting these things right to where they're supposed to go, because there's this here that I do not remember where this one goes. This I know it goes into an intake, so I can either route this here because it has a hole, or I can route it over here. But obviously I don't want to route it over the manifold because that's going to look ugly. So I would, if it's going to go there, I would have routed it here, underneath here, bring it under here, and then just loop it into that. But I'm pretty sure a lot of these I'm not even going to need, because I got to look and see where this one goes. There's another here for the intake. I've got to look, I gotta find out where this one goes. This one probably just goes there, but I gotta also find out where this goes, because this one and that one goes into the radiator. This is just here, so I've got to see where that goes, because it's part of the coolant. So this is a coolant hose that goes to some odd location that I'm gonna look at. A couple of these hoses I'm pretty sure I routed the right way, but again, I'm gonna just research everywhere. This I also got to look and see where this goes, but this might just stay like that for ambient air maybe. But I put the fuel injectors in there just so I can cover up those holes while I take the fuel rail and clean it up, because I'm gonna clean up this fuel rail and see if I can paint it this color blue so that theme continues on. But yeah, that's the point where we're at. We're damn near close to getting this thing done. Got that bracket painted and mounted. The oil's in there. Got the K&N filter that goes to this. Everything's pretty much done. I'm not gonna run the power steering or the AC at the moment, just so I can get the car buttoned up and make sure that it runs the way it's supposed to. So it's gonna stay without the AC and the power steering for now. It's gonna go on eventually, but I'll decide later. AC definitely is gonna end up going on, but the power steering, if it's not hard when turning, then I'll probably just leave it off, because I want to keep the front of this as clean as possible. Again, I'm using these as motor mounts, and I'm gonna get the mount for the transmission to hold it, because when the transmission's mounted here, there's another mount on the bottom of the transmission that goes to the other part of the frame here. So it'll have a mount here, a mount on top of the transmission, a mount down here, a mount on top of the block, and then it's gonna have a mount in the back. It'll have a mount in the back that goes to the rear subframe. So it's gonna be it's gonna have 5 points of contact, which is good because it'll keep the motor nice and stiff. But yeah, it's coming along. I should have mocked up a filter that I had too, so you can get a good look at it. Might just make it a thumbnail or something, but that's where we're at. Almost there, guys. So I'm gonna leave it at that. This is gonna be the end of this video. Next video is going to completely be, at least the beginning of it, getting this prepped up. That's gonna be the next video. Cannot wait to finally get this thing cleaned up and looking good. Ready to be mated to its home. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to your boy. I'm gonna have, or try to put a whole lot of videos on the cars I have, some of the projects I got waiting. Like I said, on this build, I'm gonna use this. I'm building this temporarily so that way I can get another car running, but I'm definitely gonna get into that block and replace all the internals to include the head. The transmission is gonna be the next video. I'm gonna get that started up, made it. After that video, I'll be prepping the engine bay and getting that ready to get put into there. But more to come on this build, definitely, because behind that red tarp there is a little secret that is gonna get added to this if I can make it work, because I'm gonna try to modify it to work for this engine. But see you on the next one.